fools. Here it is, part 3 of my Nintendo 64 collection. So let's get this bad boy started. Obviously, this is part 3, so 1 and 2. So part 1 and 2 are already up. Make sure you go check them out. You don't have to watch them in order or anything, but if you want to, see all of them, I'm going to do a playlist probably. So I'll have them all together, so check that out. And let's get started with part 3. Let's go. First up, we have Mega Man 64. You already see me do a T-play on this. This is also known as Mega Man Legends. Part 2 did not come out for the Nintendo 64, but you can get both of them on PlayStation 1, PlayStation Original, and awesome game. The controls in it take a little getting used to. They're not that great. That's for all the games. It's just a little bit weird. It's almost like Bubsy. I don't want to compare it to Bubsy 3D, but it has that kind of Bubsy feel where you kind of move and the whole world turns. It's not really like a Mario 64 kind of thing, but still pretty fun. Cool story and all that stuff. So yeah, check it out. Next up, we have Extreme G. These games are really cool. I really like these for N64. They're kind of like Wipeout meets F-Zero. Really cool. They don't have the exact, the speed that you would expect from maybe an F-Zero. They're more comparable to Wipeout, but they're really fun, kind of futuristic racing games. Pretty cool. All right, and next up we have Extreme G2. Obviously, this is just a sequel to the first one. Equally as good, very fun. So yeah, check this out. And now we have San Francisco Rush Extreme Racing. I like pretty much all the San Francisco Rush games. I think my favorite is probably the 2049. That's the futuristic one based in the future. Midway was all over the N64. And I really like racing games, and I really like the San Francisco Rush series. Pretty cool. And next up, we have Quest 64, the infamous Quest 64. On the N64, there weren't hardly any RPGs. That was one of the big things lacking the N64's library. And so when one popped up, traditional RPG, I kind of jumped on it without really, any that much research. I mean, they had, them in magazines and stuff. They talked about the game, but this game is not that great. It's really, really repetitive. The story isn't that good, which when you want a good story in an RPG, and it's really bare bones. Yeah, it's one of the few RPGs on N64, so I don't mind having it in my collection. And one of the early N64 games, Milo's Astro Lanes. As you can see, the cover's ripped here. I think I had a sticker or something on it when it tore it off. This is a very odd game. It's basically a bowling simulator in a way, but set in kind of like a futuristic world or a space world or whatever. Pretty good. The physics work really, really well. Very solid game. And next up, we have one of the, I want to say, hidden gems of this era, Shadow Man. Shadow Man also came out on Dreamcast. That's probably the definitive version because the graphics are cleaner, the textures are better than the N64 version. But Shadow Man is a really good, cool game based on the comic book. It is dark, it is gritty and graphic, but it is so solid a game. I don't see that many people that really talk about Shadow Man. This is a really good game. It deals in like the voodoo world, the dark arts. There's a whole underworld element. Check this game out if you haven't played it. It is awesome. Next up is All-Star Baseball 2000. The All-Star Baseball series is the best series of baseball on the N64. I really like the King Griffey series, but this is like a more solid sim, and it can get tough. You have to really put time into this game, but it's so worth it because it's a really good baseball sim. And of course, I love my man Jeter on the front. Huge Yankees fan, if you don't know. And keeping up with the sports theme, this is a really crusty cartridge. I haven't played this in a while, but this is Quarterback Club 98. If you don't know, early on for the N64, EA was messing around, not wanting to put out their sports games and whatnot. And so other companies stepped up. Acclaim was a big supporter of the N64. They made some really solid titles. And I really love Quarterback Club. This is when I basically fell off as a Madden fan, because I felt like the graphics in the Quarterback Club games are so much better, and I just thought they were more solid games. Brett Favre was the man back then, and I played the heck out of this game. It probably looks like it, but I really played the crap out of this series. And let's keep that going with Quarterback Club 99. Again, it just got better. Graphics got better. The options and all that got better. It's just a solid series. I think it's better than Madden. It's easily better than the Madden on N64, which they finally came out with. As you'll see right here, Madden 99. There was one before this called Madden 64, but it didn't have the NFL license, and so none of the teams had their names. It was just like New York or that Buffalo, that kind of stuff. They didn't have their logos or any of that stuff. So, and when I did get this, I was like, all right, finally Madden's on Nintendo 64. Not as good as the Quarterback Club games. I was over Madden, even though I still ended up buying this, but I was over Madden at the time. So Quarterback Club was better to me, and it just was. And so I went right on back and got Quarterback Club 2000. Again, not much to say that I haven't said about the series. Really good series, improved some things, updated rosters, all that kind of stuff. But I really like the Quarterback Club series. It sucked because it was at its peak on N64 and it fell off on the GameCube. And the GameCube one wasn't that good at all. So, all right, moving on to more sports. NFL Blitz, again, Midway. I had some cool arcadey games, and NFL Blitz was so over the top when it first came out, with the extreme kind of like extra hitting and just smashing people and just, super pumped up steroid characters running around smashing through people like trains and all the arcadey stuff. I love NFL Blitz. Awesome series. And this is my favorite racer on the N64, Top Gear Rally. It is so good, graphics wise, options and gameplay wise. It's so solid. The controls are perfect, spot on. You can do all this customization to your rally car. It's just a really good. I think it's the best racer on N64. As far as simulation goes, obviously not like a Mario Kart, more arcade stuff, but this is the best simulation racer on N64. It is really good. If you have an N64 and you like racers, get this game. It's awesome. Next up, we have Command & Conquer for the N64. This is a port of the PC game. They said, I remember reading back in the day in magazines that this was comparable to the PC version. I don't know. I never played it on the PC. But they said it was a really good port, solid. Obviously didn't have all the bells and whistles, but this was really good. And I really enjoyed this game. If you like RTS games, strategy games, this is one of the best, easily the best on the N64. So definitely check this out if you like these types of games. All right, next up we have Custom Robo. Custom Robo is a Japan-only game, I think. I don't think it came out in PAL. It's a really cool game. It's like a Micro Machine style, like create your own robot. You can customize all the different parts. From the head to the toes, and weapons, obviously, and you can just create your own robot and you battle out in the arena. The multiplayer was so much fun because of that, and it's really cool, man. It sucks that it never came out in North America or PAL. I'm pretty sure it didn't come out in PAL either, which is the European. But really good series, really fun, awesome graphics, pretty good game. And it also had a sequel, obviously, Custom Robo V2. This game improved on a lot of stuff, the core gameplay, Obviously you can do more stuff as far as your customization and all that. So it became, they did a lot of stuff that made it better. Graphics were bumped up a little bit in this version, and another game that didn't come out over here, so sucks. But there's a lot of English like words and stuff in it, so it should have been an easy translation, but never came here. Maybe it was because it launched late in the N64's life, and they just didn't want to do the resources to bring it over. But this also came out on the GameCube. I don't know if the GameCube version was a a port, but I don't know. I haven't played it. Weirdly enough, I never bought that version. I'm gonna have to check it out at some point. But yeah, it's also on GameCube. Really good series. And next up we have Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. I really like this game. This is basically a hidden gem. It only released at retail and Blockbuster. It didn't come out in stores. You could buy it online at LucasArts at the time. This is comparable to Tomb Raider, which is weird because Tomb Raider is based on Indiana Jones. It's basically the female version of Indiana Jones, and this is very much in line of a Tomb Raider game at that time. A lot of exploring and traps and all that stuff. Really good game. I never beat this game. I got to the end of it and it kind of glitched out on me. I got to the Infernal Machine, which is like the final boss, or it's not really a boss, it's just a machine that you have to kind of traverse. I got there and I got stuck and I could not get out of it, and I just never finished it. And it never finished. I'm gonna go finish this game at some point. Gotta play it. This is a really good game. You should buy it if you like Tomb Raider style games. Pretty good. And we have Mystical Ninja starring Gomen, and this is, I think, a rare game on N64. Not rare as in the company rare, but like hard to find. It had a minimum. This is an early N64 title, and it had I don't think it had like a major release. So it might be hard to find, or it might be expensive. I don't know. But really cool 3D kind of, not really platformer, but action adventure game. Goemon, I say Goemon, this Goemon is a character that was pretty big in Japan. I don't know if he still is or not, but this was also a series that was on the Super Nintendo. So pretty cool. Next up we have Star Soldier, Vanishing Earth. This is a shmup, a shoot 'em up, Japanese style space shooter. The top down, bullet hell kind of shooter. I always like these games. I was never great at them. I was, competent, good enough, Gradius style type of games. This one is I think this is the only one on the N64. So it's probably rare. I don't know. But really good, really cool game. Awesome. If you like shmups, definitely check this one out. Next up we have Chameleon Twist. Obviously the N64 is known for 3D platformers, and this one was one of the earlier ones, and is very inventive gameplay style. You're using your chameleon tongue to traverse. Really cool stuff in this game. I really like this. Check it out if you like 3D platformers. That's what the N64 was all about. So yeah, check that one out. And it also had a sequel, Chameleon Twist 2. This one, I didn't like the art style change. I didn't like that. But as you can see, it says property of Blockbuster, because I bought this at Blockbuster in the used bin. Back in the day, Blockbuster had they'd rent games, and this is the number here is probably their log, how they logged this game. And they had their stickers on it, because you could, let's go back here, and they had like this plastic over these, because people would, I guess, open these up and take out the cart inside and swap it. I don't know what they did, but yeah, so they had this protection thing on it, so that's why it says property of Blockbuster on it. I bought this from the used bin. I think I remember the day I did it, actually. 2003, I think was the year. Yeah, pretty good. They improved on a lot of stuff, expanded, made the game bigger. Really cool. So check it out. And now another 3D platformer. Well, kind of, because you're mostly flying around. It's more of a shooter. Bumble. This thing is beat up. This is another game I bought from Blockbuster used bin. I think it was the same day I bought the Chameleon Twist 2. So it's got really, because I tried to take the sticker crap off, which was a mistake, and as you can see. But yeah, pretty cool, solid game. You know, it's nothing great. It's kind of interesting. Check it out. And the Army Men Sarges Heroes from 3DO. These were really fun games, really cool. I remember this coming out near, what's that movie, Small Soldiers? If you know what I'm talking about, you know why I'm mentioning that with this. This game, Army Men, is about, you know, basically the little green Army Men toys that used to be come in those plastic clear bags that you play with for hours. I used to set up when I was a kid. And this is basically the video game version of that. So it's pretty cool, nice humor, pretty fun game. It's a third-person action kind of shooter. So, and here's the sequel, which I had to get just because the cartridge is green. You know, it's just one of those. Not a lot of N64 games had colored cartridges, so it really stands out. I really always liked the cartridge. But yeah, it's just, you know, the sequel to the Army Men Sarges Heroes, and they improved stuff. And it was just, they improved some stuff, and it was a solid game. Like I said, I like them racers, and we have F1 pole position 64. This game's okay. It's not terrible. It's not anything special. It's just, you know, it's average. There are a few better F1 games on N64. I think EA made one, so yeah, not bad. Cool game. And this is one of the games I was super anticipating on the N64. I used to read up about it all the time. It was supposed to come out with the movie, but the N64 got pushed back. And this game actually ended up in development hell. And I thought maybe it would never come out. It finally came out. Sometimes it has like it's a third-person action game. It actually was it started off as a 2D game on the Super Nintendo, but like I said, it got in development hell, and it kind of got pushed into the N64's life, and then it got more development hell, and it finally came out, and it's cool because it does a lot of stuff. It tries to do a lot of things. It doesn't always do those things well. But I think the stealth element to it, and just being able to like use kidnap, or I guess capture people and use their face and stuff to do stealth missions was really cool. A lot of cool things, a lot of cool ideas anyway in this game, but it's still solid. It's a solid game. I think you should check it out if you like these types of games. Last and certainly not least is the Super Gem Superman 64. The infamous Superman 64. I actually rented this game back in the day, and I'm glad I didn't buy it because I don't have to tell you anything about this. This is often called one of the worst games of all time. It is easily one of the worst games of all time, which is sad because Superman is my favorite comic book hero. And I was hoping this game would finally be the Superman game. There's some okay ones on the Super Nintendo. But yeah, this was awful. This is basically an unfinished tech demo. I mean, it is bad. It is bad. But I ended up buying it a few years ago just to have it in the collection as a Superman fan, and just kind of a funny thing to have one of the worst games ever made. So, yep, Superman 64. I don't need to say much about it. I'm sure you know all about it. And yeah, not one of the N64's best. Let's just put that away. All right, guys, that's it. That's it for this segment of my N64 collection. Looks like from what I'm looking at here, I'm gonna end up with at least 2 more videos. So to finish out the collection and the best games on the N64, I'm holding those. So stay tuned, and more to come from the Mizzah Tee Show. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you fools next time. Peace out. Oh yeah, one more thing. Play Nintendo, fools. Thank you all for watching Mizzah Tee Show.